a full run of the Explorers. And I don't like streaming Explorers most of the time. I will sometimes make an excuse for uh, Thunderhome Explorers. But yeah, because it'll just end up being just me running around an Explorer area, probably lost.
The first of the villagers are at the exit. But what is this? The main door is locked. Hopefully, somewhere inside the building you can find a key. There are sounds of a commotion up ahead in the north wing.
I can't tell how often, like, the disintegration is proccing, but I saw the paralysis proc on some wolves earlier, but yeah, I think without the bewildering from the Blade of the High Priestess, I'm gonna be just out of luck as far as paralyzing goes. How can I get lost in Thunderhome? You gotta be joking. That place is like a maze. Okay, so Dance of Death says your basic attacks when dual wielding strike multiple targets, but I think it's any attack that does not have a unique animation, because I totally just procced Volcano's Edge on two werewolves at the same time right there. No doubt. I also got it like 3 times on the same enemy there. You know, between like this werewolf thing and then later on the fungus, was it? The zombie fungus? I would be really afraid to be in the Evening Star War Hospital. I feel like this place is pretty unlucky as far as keeping its inhabitants safe. Also, I'm not sure if I'm the reason why things are dropping dead, but I'm gonna imagine it might be
The head priest
the manslayer on my goggles here,
perhaps the main door key is close at hand.
which would mean I might vorpal more than I give myself credit for. Dance of Death and Whirlwind Attack. See, I don't think Dance of Death would affect Whirlwind Attack, but I mean, Whirlwind Attack is going to hit a bunch of things anyway, so... I'm considering, because I know I have 2 Blades of the High Priestess, I'm thinking that it might be worth it to wield both of them at the same time, so that I'm hitting with even more bewildering, even more, it's got constitution damage on there. But then again, then I would lose improved deception, which procs pretty often. Also, I've got so many action boosts, there is no reason that I should not be hasted, like, all the time. I don't know why I'm not using it. With Merdina Powa in the group, I feel like it should not be at all difficult to maintain a blitz for an entire quest, because he's pretty good at keeping a steady pace and continually finding things to kill. I don't think Minzra had a plan for this party before he started this group. I think after like every quest he's having to... oh, he's leaving. So hopefully Merdina Powa will take control here. Greetings, Technical 13! I surely hope you're not mocking me for a mistake I may or may not have made last week. I'm gonna immediately pass him the star. Oh. Never mind. I definitely did not make a mistake of any sort, ever. Okay, he's on his airship. You don't need to watch the archive, because, I mean, definitely nothing interesting happened within the first, like, 20 minutes. Nothing. I'll go ahead and just tell you, I did my little... Okay, it's too hard to get this thing in view. The little dongle that's attached to the my headphones has a little mute mic lever, which may or may not have somehow, I guess, rubbed against something and turned off before I started the stream. Epic Kronzik's cruelty. Well, he is apparently hitting that LFM for Shavarath. Epic Kronzik's cruelty. Scimitars. I can appreciate improved destruction. And lightning strike. That seems like a decent weapon. Greetings, Vorpal Snack! I would like to join this Amarath quest. Oh, you know what? Let's just go. Because Merdina Powa should not be in the adventure area yet either, so he can probably lead me to where I need to go. Greetings, Clancy 3! Oh, I was hoping that the teleporty thing here would be closer to the portal to get to the wilderness area. Okay, it is pretty close. I'm learning this place a little bit. Not the wilderness zone. I'm not learning the wilderness zone at all. But the town zone of Amarath, I'm getting a little bit better at. Meh. Where you going, Merdina?
Before you lie the shattered ruins of some ancient culture.
What do you mean, until done? Do you mean like you're getting all the way to level 20 with your build before you end the stream? Because I would actually like to see that. A run from level 1 to 20 at least. Oh yeah, he's probably immune to fire. Nope, just resistant. Awesome. Three levels a week? I mean, for fresh rolls like level 1, I could definitely imagine getting to like level 5 in one day.
A devil fortress that is currently under siege by demons.
But then in later levels, sometimes I barely manage to get one level a day.
The main gate opens and the demon horde floods into the fortress. Still, the devils may yet repel the horde once they rally behind their leader.
on all 4 builds. Ooh,
Unable to open the
a
inner gate. I
tough,
wonder they never conquered this fortress.
tough schedule there.
Compensate for their stupidity and open the gate for them.
If you're talking to me, I don't have a particular leveling route. I just hit LFMs as they pop up. Shu is apparently doing a... He's doing free-to-play stuff because it's supposed to be like a tutorial for free-to-play players, kind of. Which should make the later levels really difficult because, I mean, once you get to like level 12 or 14, you start really running out of free-to-play stuff to run. It's gonna say, is Medina lagging or am I? And I believe he even created a separate account for this, so he does not have VIP experience boost. I don't think he's using like any experience boosts, except for possibly, do you pick up, oh no, voice would be pay to play, so yeah, he probably doesn't have like any experience boosts going, which is fine for a first lifer. I mean, I was really surprised at how quickly I leveled on a first life character when I rolled one on another server, or even on this server. Just ship buffs if you can bum an invite. Neato. I thought Medina Power knew his way, but he might be a bit lost in this keep as well. The voice would be a good choice for people that don't have that pack during the 10th anniversary event. I was just so intent on getting my Sword of Shadows that I didn't even consider that somebody might take the voice. Okay, you're more about the +1 bonus. Was that for the rogue then? Because I can imagine an intense desire for skills on a first life free-to-play rogue. Oh, come on now, sling me on the roof, why don't you?
Now all that remains of your mission is to eliminate the demon witnesses. The devil's never discovered.
Oh, the difficult... Druid 8 warrior? Like, is that supposed to be
Corpses. In the days
8
following
fighter or 8
the other devils for this device.
what? And Velsing's belt. I almost feel like I already have one of these, but... Greetings, Space Dragon! There's no telling how I would have tried to pronounce that if you had not told me that was supposed to be space. Did they already open this one then? No, it's locked. I love those ones that slam back closed whenever...
Far away on the other side
8 fighter and...
a devil fortress is completely deceived.
And what didn't work in animal form? Kin's Eye? I might need to look up that. Is that an enhancement? Kin's Eye. Oh, Kensei. If you want Kensei bonuses, you need to take the bonuses for unarmed, because wolf form is counted as unarmed combat. And things that specifically say that they work with weapons will not work with your attacks, because your attacks are considered unarmed. So you probably want to take Kensei of martial arts, if you're wanting to deal more damage with your Kensei things. So for example, there's an enhancement that says, I don't know, plus critical threat range with your focus weapons, you won't get that in unarmed, or the critical multiplier with your focus weapons, because it's technically not a weapon, it's unarmed. But you can get the bonus damage from each tier if you just choose unarmed. Or, what is it, Kensei of martial arts or something.
The Silver Flame soldiers seem to be looting some recently killed adventurers.
I already
Their leader and
buffed a little bit.
prisoner
Yeah, I already
stepped
buffed.
from the ledge, ignoring their questionable behavior. What is going on here?
You do apply the stats from your weapon when you are transformed, but you are counted as unarmed. For example, a scimitar would typically deal 1d6 damage, I believe, just as its weapon damage. However, when you're I don't remember what the damage dice for the wolf is, but I believe bears use 1d12. So instead of dealing 1d6 damage, you would deal 1d12 no matter what weapon you had equipped. And also the critical threat range of the weapon doesn't matter either. You could use a club that has a 20 times 2, and as a wolf you would still get like 18 times 2, or for winter wolf I think it's 18 times 3, is it? I don't know. Not very familiar with druid animal form. And also, if you take an improved critical feat, you are going to want to take improved critical for bludgeoning, no matter what weapon you use, because you're counted as unarmed, and unarmed is counted as bludgeoning. It's weird. So, for example, if I was in a wolf form right now, I mean, oh, I can't see all of my weapon stats, but I would get the bonuses from my weapons, but I wouldn't be counted as using them. A Tempest, did you take 2-weapon fighting? Because 2-weapon fighting is not supposed to work in animal form. I don't know whether it does. So I mean, I think technically you should be better off using like a shield and one weapon, but I mean, it's weird. I think there's some way that you can 2-weapon fight while being a wolf. I don't know if it still is a bug, but there was a bug where I think you could get 2-weapon fighting and single-weapon fighting bonuses at the same time on wolf. It's weird. Wolf form is really weird, so I'm not gonna pretend I know a lot about it. I just know a little bit. Actually, I heard in some cases that it is better to use a wooden weapon while you're in animal form because the Shillelagh spell, which gives bonuses for... Yes, Edward T., you are correct. single weapon fighting should not work in animal form, but last I was aware, there was a bug where it did, so I don't know what to tell you.
The Silver Flame Inquisitor is trying to get your attention from 4 different corners.
I am definitely the cleric you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. I actually am opposed to the current way that the animal form combat style feats work, because you can't take them until you get to level 9. You can't take the first one until you get to level 9. And at that point, most people would have already taken their first one. Like, I take mine at like level 1 or 3. If I'm taking like single weapon fighting, 2-weapon fighting, 2-handed fighting, I take one at like level 1 or 3. So I mean, to not be able to take a combat style feat until level 9, that means if you're a pure druid, we'll use the example of being a pure druid, then for level 9, natural fighting, 12 maybe improved critical unarmed, 15 natural fighting, 18 natural fighting. So it really limits the possible feats you can take, because a lot of the things that you might want have like a requirement of a higher base attack bonus than you can ever get. Yes, you require level 9 druid to take the natural fighting feats. And if you don't get to level 9 druid until a little bit later, like if you're splashing like you are, then it becomes very difficult to take those combat style feats, because you've kind of made your feat progression all weird. So if I was trying to do an animal form build without using exploits that I don't even know how to use right now, I would probably take my first 9 levels as druid so I could take the feats and then maybe splash something that gives more feats like fighter or monk. It's just such a pain. Multiclassing with druid is not trash. In fact, I mean, some of the most effective druids I've seen are like wolf monk fighters or something. Just, you have to be smart about it. Have to know what you're doing, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I probably should not try. although, like I said, I told you some of the druids that I've seen seem to be benefiting from single weapon fighting in animal form, and I mean, it's weird, and I don't recommend using exploits because I don't understand them, and if they get patched, then you will be weakened. You'll find yourself not benefiting from abilities that you've taken, and yeah, you might have to use a lesser hard or TR or something to fix what you did. I'm glad we've got a bard. I really like bards. Bard rogue. Is he a war chanter then if he's going two-handed fighting? Using what looks like a caster stick? I don't know it. Magam. Is he a thief acrobat? Interesting. But it seems to be a thief acrobat bard? Usually they go swashbuckling rogue bards. I don't know if I'd say it's bugged, but I am aware of that thing that you just said, where it seems to deal a lot more damage to the things around your primary target. Magic missile builds, I don't know if they still are, but they at least were popular in epic levels because the Shirati champion procs would have a chance of proccing off every missile. And so you would have, like, 10 missiles, and each one of them has a chance to proc 2d10 to a random ability score, 1d100 of a random type of damage, and a random effect. Oh, and also nerve venom, if you have that. So, Shirati casters were, at least, don't know if they still are, but were popular for a while. Yeah, you're only level 9, but yeah. I don't know a lot about casters. I played a warlock recently, but that's kind of a different beast entirely. And I did play a wizard, but I was more crowd control oriented, I think. Please, please, please start spawning before my blitz is up. Please, please, please. And preferably before my mini shot is up too. There we go. I've got terrible luck with proccing new stacks of bullets. I feel like they could stand to give you guaranteed stacks of blitz in certain circumstances. Like maybe when I use Volcano's Edge, if I'm in Master's Blitz, I gain a stack of Blitz or something. I don't know. Just sometimes it'll seem like I'll hit something several times and not gain a stack, even though I should have a, what, 10% chance per attack. Let's see. I don't know what the... Yes, thank you for watching, Miss Walker. I'd be glad to see you in Epics. I do like the Mirage because it does have higher base weapon damage, but I don't know whether that applies to your animal form. That said, the paralysis on the Inven blade is very nice in heroic levels. And even, you see, I've got a weapon with paralyzing on it. It's actually improved paralyzing. It's my epic Midnight Greetings. That said, I don't know how powerful the Ruby of Endless Night is, so that might tip the odds in the Mirage's favor. It's neg levels. I do like negative levels. I mean, Mirage has Ghost Touch just by itself. So I don't know whether the Ruby gives that, but I mean, Mirage already had it. I used Mirage on this life, actually, because it had that higher than usual weapon damage and Ghost Touch and Deception, because I love getting sneak attack damage. I don't know how much sneak attack damage you have since you're a druid fighter, but I've got a decent amount, as you should be able to see. I'm getting, what, 135 sneak attack damage? A little over 100, although I am in Blitz, so that's kind of skewing it, but
The Great Plains Gate finally opens, but the Planescaller collapses in exhaustion. Hopefully the Canaan...
I mean, when I got the Envenomed Blade, I started using it over Mirage, so... I kind of tend to go for paralyzing. When I level up, I'm gonna equip Blade of the High Priestess because that gives paralyzing. The DC is pretty low, but in heroic levels, it's still usually enough to paralyze, especially, I'm gonna say dumb things, like specifically animals typically have a low will save. I mean, even my improved paralysis only has a DC of 25. Yeah. However, the one that I'm going to equip at next level, the Blade of the High Priestess here, gives -1 wisdom on each successful attack, so that would lower their will save and probably help me land paralysis on. Things even with okay wisdom scores. Somebody looted a mysterious bauble. Oh, dang. That is pretty nice, actually. The Blade of the High Priestess, you can confirm, works great. I love it. So can I get your opinions on this then, Technical 13? Would you recommend that I hold a Blade of the High Priestess in each hand to get even more wisdom damage? And more chance of paralyzing them. Oh, dang, yeah. I forgot about that sickle. It's just a pain in the butt to get because you have to be able to unlock chests and run the Spawn of Whisperdoom. Is it the quest? I'm not sure whether I'm damaging this portal. Where's the damage numbers? Are you talking about the Bejeweled Letter Opener? Because I think that's pretty much best for bards. It's got like, what, Resonance and Devotion on it? I got somebody's opinion that dual blades of the High Priestess is a good idea. Because I've got like 2 or 3 of them, and I'm like, you know, as much as I like my improved deception on my Midnight Greetings, I'm going to get improved deception from another source. Also, I find it really goofy that you can sneak attack these inanimate dimensional portals. Oh no! A feat to proc offhand effects? I didn't think that was a thing. Greetings, Grizzly Wookie! You are relatively attached to that emoticon, I see. I noticed you using it in the Slack channel as well. Mean what? Offhand weapon. Chance to make... I do have greater 2 weapon fighting, but really I think those just increase the chance to proc an offhand attack in general, and then offhand attacks would of course land the effects of their weapon. And chance to produce offhand attacks when fighting. And chance to produce offhand attacks when fighting. Oh yeah, the Phylactery of Ryum. If you have the Phylactery of Ryum, the Blessed Blood Offering, and the Orb of the Genie, you can flag for the against the Demon Queen. I think it's called raid. It's not rare. You get it for completing the Tomb of the Wizard King quest every time you complete it, so it's no problem.
You stand before the hall of the third.
Is this where the quest that they're
Underground
doing is?
homes
Yes,
of
it
the
is.
most deadly military unit.
Okay, wait, I need to scroll up in this chat a little bit. I think I've got one in my inventory right now, so you might recognize it. Is it this? A gilded scroll case containing ancient magical formulae of necromantic origin? Because that is the flagging item for against the Demon Queen. It's not the Phylactery of Ryum. Then I have no clue. Potion of Wonder, yoink. So you don't have Sands of Miniature nor Deller's Graveyard. I don't know how many items it could be. My numbers just dropped greatly. My apologies in advance if I disconnect. That was a very sudden drop, like entirely to zero of my, I think it's bit rate that number is.
Punctuated by the
So you don't have Sands of Miniature nor Deller's Graveyard. I don't know how many items it could be. My numbers just dropped greatly. My apologies in advance if I disconnect. That was a very sudden drop, like entirely to zero of my, I think it's bit rate that number is.
punctuated by the we must flee from prisoners taken during one of the devil's many conquests.
Paladin Wizard Favored Soul. Wonder what he's going for. I have only run 2 of the new Gnome Work quests. The Tales of an Illusory Larcener was a pretty interesting quest. I would like to run it again and see if it's possible to actually make things happen differently, because I was told that it's like a choose your own adventure, so I feel like you should be able to choose an adventure. And I ran the one in Evening Star that had a dragon at the end, and I'm always down for more dragons in the game, but it was very difficult. The enemies in there hit hard. I want to run that 3rd gnome quest, though, because I saw an item in there that I very much coveted. The animated rope. I want one. So I need to run that quest, even if I end up running it over level, because it's got, like, an exceptionally high sneak attack damage value. Killed by a pineapple. Sounds like a notable... Greetings, White. I'm on Arganesson if you're asking me. If you're asking somebody else, you may have to specify. I think I've seen you before, White. But I'm not even gonna try to read your name. I think I told you that I was not even gonna try to read your name anymore. I hate air elementals. A loon or a mallard? It's a duck. A duck book